Yo, what is up everybody? It is your favorite engineer Drew back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be showing you guys how to sound like Don Toliver and Trippie Red in the song Ain't Safe. So let's get into the video.
Boy, that shit ain't safe. Boy, that shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? Boy, that shit ain't safe. And the Frank came down.
Alright, so right there, as always, you guys just heard the paid version of the preset that you can get on my website right now, drewchavis.com, for only $14.99. Now, as you guys all know, this price is going to be going up very shortly. After the week it gets posted, it goes up to $19.99. So make sure you guys get it while it's on sale. But in this video, I'm going to be showcasing you guys what the free version sounds like and how I recreated it using the stock plugins in FL Studio. So first thing what I want to do is I want to show you guys what my raw recording sounded like, and then I'm going to show you guys what it sounded like after all the plugins and what this preset is really doing to the vocals. So let's hear it.
Shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? But that shit ain't safe.
So as you can see, it sounds terrible without the autotune and all that. I can't sing really good, so that autotune's really helped me out. So let's turn it on, and then you can hear what it's doing. And fair warning, it's gonna get a little louder, so let's hear it.
Shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? But that shit ain't safe.
So as you can see, we really brightened up this vocal and made it a lot louder, of course, so that it sits in the vocal nice and tight. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a fruity limiter. Now this is literally just kind of like a noise gate to cut off all that room sound that I don't want in the vocal. As you can see, when it's off, you hear a lot of the reflections in this room. This room's pretty tight, and it's got a very, I would say, kind of like springy sounding reverb. So fruity limiter, we're setting the noise gate threshold to negative 45.6. Now adjust this to whatever it takes to get that sound out that you don't want. Pretty simple there. It's just cutting off all the room noise that I didn't want when I'm not rapping. All right, next plugin, we're going to go into the only non-stock plugin in this chain, which is the Autotune Pro. Now I went with low male, F sharp minor, and then I turned the retune up to 6. I find that's like a good medium for these Don Toliver style vocals. Next thing I wanted to do was clean up this vocal a little bit. Like I said, we're using the SM7B untreated room, so we're gonna have a lot of spots to clean up. But for this one, I just wanted to keep it simple, nice and clean. So we're gonna start with a high pass at 191 hertz. Take out that low end rumble, especially with this microphone. I find that it has a lot of that area that I just wanted to clean up. At 688 hertz, we're taking out 4.3 decibels there. Final thing on this EQ, pretty simple EQ, is a high shelf, and we're just boosting some high end at 6,367 hertz, and we're boosting that by 3.8 decibels to give us some of that shine. So let's hear what this EQ is doing before and after, and you guys will be able to hear the difference that it makes. So let's do it. So this is without.
Shit ain't safe. Boy, that shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? Boy, that shit ain't safe. And a friend came down from Rio. She done moved in with a whole kilo.
So right there, I really felt the vocal opening up a lot more. I didn't have as much as this close to the mic sound, because with this mic, I tend to get really up close and personal when I record. So you're going to hear a lot of that low end boominess that you just want to bring out in the vocal. It's really just going to muddy it up, especially with a vocal like this where it doesn't have much of that, if any at all. The original vocal is pretty bright. So next plugin we're going to go into is a fruity compressor. Now we're actually going to stack 2 compressors. This is something I do on most of my vocal chains, about 99% of them, just because I like to get my vocals nice and tight. Those mics they use, they just sound amazing just right off the bat, and they almost have like a natural compression sounding. What I did was I set up my compressors, and what I did with the first one, I set it to negative 33.4 on the threshold, 4.1 to 1 ratio, 8 on the gain, 2.8 millisecond attack, 130 millisecond release, and we're going to use the hard type. I kind of wanted to emulate the CLA 76. So there's that compressor. The second compressor we're going to go into is kind of emulating the LA2A. Now I really squashed the vocal a lot with this one. As you can see, the threshold's at negative 48.4, 2 to 1 on the ratio, 18.2 the gain, 21 millisecond attack, 137 millisecond release once again, but this time I'm using the vintage type. I just found it gives it a different style saturation, and I like the way it sounded to get these vocals nice and tight. So I'm going to play the vocal without any of the compression, and then I'm going to bring both compressors back in so you can hear what it's doing. And just another warning, the vocals are going to get a lot louder when I bring the compressors in, so you'll hear a big loudness difference. So let's hear it.
Shit ain't safe. Boy, that shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? Boy, that shit ain't safe. And a friend came down from Rio. She done moved in with a whole kilo, keep it popping, Oxycontin,
So as you can see, it really brought up the volume, but also made this vocal nice, squashed, and tight to kind of emulate what I hear in a lot of these pro style vocals. As you can hear, when I start doing that, you're gonna hear a lot more of the room noise in that reflection. We're not gonna be able to get rid of that completely. That's just dealing with the facts of the room I record in. But when we bring the beat in, it's not going to be as noticeable. The vocal's not going to sound as clean as its potential. There's no really full workaround, but we can work with what we got. So the next thing we're going to go into is another EQ. Now this one gets a little crazy. We got a lot of different moves in here. Just taking out some sounds that I didn't want, and this is kind of shaping it to give me that original tone that you have in the original song. So that's what you're going to see with this. I first started with a low shelf at 332 hertz, taking out 3.4 decibels there, removing some of the low end muddiness. Once again, a lot of these moves are removing some of that low end mud. 223 hertz, we're taking out 5.6 decibels. Then at 88 hertz, we have the Q at 7%, and we're taking out a decibel there. That's this red band right here. I just found that a little bit pokey in that low end. At 728 hertz, we're taking out 7 decibels there. A lot of that mid-range kind of weird roominess that I have in my mic, I'm finding that's where the reflections of this room really stand out. So next EQ band's at 3400 hertz. This is kind of like a harshness that I want to bring back, so I took out 2.6 decibels there. Moving on to 8000 hertz. This time we're using the Q at 6%, so pretty tight. I just wanted to solo in on this 8639 hertz range, and we took out 3.4 decibels there. And then we're gonna boost some top end back at 8684 hertz by 2.5 decibels using a high shelf, bringing some of that airiness back into the vocal. So let's hear what this is sounding like before and after, and that will give you insight on what this EQ does. So let's hear it.
Boy, that shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? Boy, that shit ain't safe. And a friend came down from Rio.
Next plugin we're gonna go into is the best plugin in FL Studio, of course. Sound Goodizer. You guys all know this plugin by now. What I did with this is kept it on A, turned the amount up to 40%. I just like the way it sounded on this preset. So next thing we're gonna go into is our time-based effects, which is the fruity reverb and the fruity delay. So starting with the reverb, kept everything stock besides I turned the decay up to 2.4 seconds and I turned the delay to 67 milliseconds. High cut we're gonna set at 6.1 kHz, low cut at 565 hertz. This is just the EQ that's gonna apply to the reverb, so it's not taking up too much of the space that we want. After that, we're gonna go into the fruity delay. This settings, I just kind of kept it normal. I set the time to 4, and then I brought the cutoff back to 508 hertz on the BP mode. And we set the wet all the way down to 7.8%. I find that's just kind of like a sweet spot. But yeah, that is the free version of the preset. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the free version sounds like with the beat. And you're good to go. You can download it in the link in the description if you want to skip this part. And all I ask for you to do is hit that subscribe button. That really supports my channel and helps me make more videos like this. So if you liked it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And if you really want to support the channel even more, make sure you go to my website. I have tons of presets just like this one. And actually, this isn't the final template. It's going to look a little nicer. It's going to be better colored, better organized for you to just be able to plug in your mic and hit record. And that's what you're paying for. You're paying for better quality and also ease of use. So with that being said, let's hear what this preset is sounding like.
Boy, that shit ain't safe. Boy, that shit ain't safe. I done moved around that Geo. I could dodge that bitch like Neo, huh? Boy, that shit ain't safe. And a friend came down from Rio. She done moved in with a whole kilo, keep it poppin',
So there you guys have it. As always, links in the description for everything. Link in the description to my website. Link in the description to the free version of the preset. If you enjoyed it, make sure you cop the full version. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment down below what artist you want me to recreate next, what song, as well as what type of mixing or mastering video that you want me to create in the future, just to help you guys learn even more and what you guys find valuable. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and stay tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.